What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Friday, April 18th. We're going to break down every MLB game on the slate. We're going to look at bets on the side and over-under, and make sure you're checking that pinned comment throughout the day to see if there are any changes as injury news and starters are confirmed. Yesterday, guys, things got off to an amazing start. 3-0 to start the day, had the Pirates minus 125. Heaney absolutely lights out, and the bullpen holds up there, so we cashed that one right out of the gate. We had the San Francisco Phillies over. That was a 6-4 win for the Phillies, so we cashed that over as well. We had the Orioles plus 105. That ended up as a 6-2 win there for Baltimore, so we'll certainly take that. But later in the day, guys, the wheels came off a little bit. Tampa Bay minus 116 did not come through. It was a 6-3 loss. They out-hit the Yankees, but Taj Bradley was terrible, so that was pretty disappointing. And we had the Cardinals plus 120. That ended up being a 4-1 loss. Canning had his best start of the year, and Palante was pretty mediocre out there. So a 3-2 day, though, we'll definitely take that. A nice winning day, no problem there. Do me a big favor, slam that like button. It's free, helps me a ton, shows your appreciation for all the work we're putting into these videos every single day. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. That'll help keep you from missing our daily videos. Comment below with any bets you're looking at today or any other feedback you have for me, and I will personally respond. Quick reminder, guys, all of our videos are sponsored by StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last 3 years in a row and is off to a fantastic start this year, so no complaints there. Once you get over to StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see our exclusive free picks posted only over there, free to use bet size calculators, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not always match what you see here in the video. You also need to sign up for our free email newsletter from Stump the Spread, which will get you free picks straight to your inbox every day and updates on our results. Just make sure to check your spam folder. If you're a huge fan of what we do here every single day, you can sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members are eligible for our members only giveaways. We'll be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie to one random channel member each month, and we're giving one away here in just a couple days there on Easter. So definitely, if you're feeling it, guys, sign up for a channel membership, and you're gonna have a 1 in like 60 or 61 chance at winning a free Stump the Spread hoodie. Guys, as always, our favorite picks will be in the pinned comment down below. Now let's get into our first game of the day. We've got the Arizona Diamondbacks going on the road to take on the Chicago White Sox. The Diamondbacks come into this game 12-7 on the season, winners of 5 in a row. They just swept the Marlins. They're handing the ball to Corbin Burns, who's 0-1 on the year, a 5.28 ERA. He's looked decent out there, probably not elite. Had kind of a mediocre start against Washington, a pretty bad start. Well, I guess a decent start against Milwaukee his last time out. We're not super hyped about him. We're not super disappointed in him, but when you're pitching for a team like the Diamondbacks that's going to give you run support, anything is possible. That Diamondbacks bullpen is starting to show a few flaws. A 3.48 bullpen ERA, though, definitely not something the Diamondbacks would be too upset about. The offense is cruising, guys. 6, 10, 5, and 5 runs over their last few games. Pretty solid stuff, guys. Josh Naylor off to a great start. This team is 4th in runs scored and 8th in batting average, so I don't think they're too worried about the offense right now as they go up against the Chicago Cubs, who just lost 2 out of 3 there at San Diego. They're 12-9 on the season, currently leading the NL Central, so I guess take that for what it's worth. They're handing the ball to Colin Ray, who comes into this game making his second start of the year. His first one, bro was dealing there against the Dodgers. I mean, he gave up 1 run over 3 2/3 innings on 4 hits. Gave up no home runs, struck out 5. So yeah, I don't think he would have any problem if they wanted to switch him into the rotation here. That would be a pretty big step in the right direction for a 30-year-old right-hander. So we'll see what Colin Ray can do out there. We'll see what the Cubs bullpen can do. It has not been great over the course of the season, guys. It's been one of their bigger problems. A 4.92 bullpen ERA is obviously atrocious. Now the offense has been on absolute fire, guys. 1st in the majors in runs scored, 6th in batting average, 5th in on-base percentage. We see Nico Horner off to a great start, Kyle Tucker off to a great start. They did cool off a little bit there against the Padres, scoring 2, 2, and 4 runs over that series. So gonna need to get pointed back in the right direction here. The Diamondbacks are minus 135. The Cubs are plus 112. We've got a total of 10.5 in this game. Arizona's 6-3 on the road, 8-3 to the over-under. The Cubs 4-2 at home, 13-7-1 to the over. So obviously a big over team. Now, are we going to take over 10.5 in this game? I don't think that's very reasonable, guys. I'm not going to be doing that. Now, if you're looking for a side on this one, I am going to lean here just a little bit towards the Chicago Cubs. I've liked what I've seen from Colin Ray. The last time he faced the Diamondbacks, he only went a third of an inning, gave up a hit. So that obviously isn't ideal, but that's not very much history. I like what we're seeing from him. And the Cubs getting plus 112 in a day game at home doesn't seem too crazy, but this game isn't going anywhere near the pinned comment. Next up, we're looking at the Cleveland Guardians going on the road to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Guardians come into this game fresh off of a tough loss against Baltimore. They lost 2 out of 3 in that series. They're hitting the ball to Luis Ortiz, who's 1-2 to start his year, a 6.06 ERA. Obviously not what they had in mind, but his last couple of starts have looked better. He got shelled by the Padres, a decent start against the Angels, and then an excellent start against the Royals his last time out. 5 2/3 innings, only a single hit. That was a home run that he gave up, and he struck out 10 and walked 2. So they're hoping he can build on that. Obviously, that would be a great step in the right direction. This Cleveland bullpen continues to be excellent. No major shock there. They're the top 5 bullpen in the majors. The offense, though, 3 runs over their last 2 games is not going to really work. Steven Kwan hitting the ball well, doing his thing. Jose Ramirez kind of doing his thing as well, but only batting .250 on the year with 8 RBIs. That's not going to get the job done. They are 22nd in the majors in runs scored, 18th in batting average. This team just not hitting the ball here out of the gate. So we'll see what they can do here against the Pirates, who just won 3 out of 4 against the Washington Nationals. Now, a series against the Nationals will pretty much make anyone look good. We'll see what they can do here, guys. Handing the ball to Carmen Bolzinski. He comes into this game 1-2 on the season, a 6.23 ERA. He did have a good start there against the Cardinals, but that start was sandwiched between 2 pretty bad starts, a tough one at Tampa Bay and a tough one at Cincinnati his last time out. He gave up 4 earned runs over 4 1/3 innings on 5 hits, despite not giving up a home run there at the Great American Ballpark. So that's not great. Now, the Pirates' bullpen's been very good, a 3.23 bullpen ERA. No major problems there. The offense has not been amazing. Tied for 22nd in the majors in runs scored. They scored 1, 6, 0, and 10 runs in that series against Washington. So maybe they're headed in the right direction, but I'm not about to overreact too much to that. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, we see the Guardians at -122, the Pirates at +110. We've got a total of 9 in this one. Cleveland's 4-8 on the road, 8-2 to the over/under. Pittsburgh 6-4 at home, and they're a significant under team. I'm going to be leaning a bit towards the under 9 in this game. I don't think we're going to see quite that much offense from these 2 struggling offensive teams, but I do think this is a pretty decent spot to be on the Guardians. I don't trust Molzinski at all, and yeah, with Luis Ortiz headed in the right direction, it looks like, and those Cleveland bats due to awaken at some point, I think the Guardians at -122 is a pretty solid bargain. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Kansas City Royals going on the road to take on the Detroit Tigers. We saw the Royals take the loss there in Game 1 of this series. They've now lost 4 in a row, getting swept by the Yankees and losing Game 1 here. They're hitting the ball to Cole Rangans, hoping he can get them back on track. He's off to a good start this year, 1-0, a 2.28 ERA. His last 3 starts have looked pretty bonkers, guys. Against Cleveland, 7 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of them were earned, and he struck out 10. He struck out 10, 11, and 10 over his last 3 starts. Pretty dominant stuff. So they're hoping he can do that, the same kind of thing here against the Tigers. That would obviously be very, very helpful for a Royals team that hasn't been great out of the pen. A 3.77 bullpen ERA has them around average, which I guess the Royals would settle for, but not if they can't figure out their bats, guys. It's looked really bad. They've scored 1, 3, 2, and 1 runs over their last 4 games. Bobby Witt Jr. batting just over 300. The power numbers for this team are terrible. They're 28th in the majors in slugging percentage, also 28th in batting average. They got to figure it out at the plate. Now, will they be able to do that here against the Tigers? It's possible. Detroit 11-8 on the season, fresh off of that win. They're hitting the ball in this one to young Jackson Jobe, who's 1-0 to start his year, a 3 ERA, and he's coming off a dazzling start there against the Twins. 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, gave up no runs in the game. So very nice stuff there. We do see that the Tigers are 3-0 in his starts. They beat Seattle, the White Sox, and the Twins. So let's not overreact too much. We'll see what they can do here against the Royals, a team that hasn't been great, obviously. Now, the Tigers' bullpen's been a decent amount better than the Royals' bullpen. A 3.43 bullpen ERA is certainly reasonable there. Not a lot bad to say about that. This offense hasn't been on fire. They scored 6 runs in Game 1 of this series, but 1 and 0 runs, respectively, in their 2 games before that. We've seen Torkelson get off to a good start, Kerry Carpenter get off to a good start. They're 10th in the majors in runs scored this season, but it hasn't looked quite so hot here recently. So we'll see what they can do here against Cole Rangans, a pretty tough guy to get hits against. We're looking at the numbers. The Royals are -140. The Tigers are +120. We've got a total of 7.5 out there. The Royals are only 2-8 on the road, 13-7 to the under. Detroit 6-1 at home, 10-8-1 to the under. Honestly, I think under 7.5 is live in this game. Both these pitchers are looking pretty good. Neither bullpen is terrible, and both offenses are pretty bad. So under 7.5 for sure live in this game. In terms of a side, I do think there's some reason to go ahead and back the Tigers here at +120. They're at home, they're getting plus money, and the Royals continue to struggle. Now, could this be the game where they break their losing streak? Sure, but Guys, I'm not that interested in the side in this one. If you're begging me for a play on this game, I think the under is the way to go. Next on the docket, we've got the Miami Marlins going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Marlins 8-10 on the season. They just got swept by the Diamondbacks, so that's not really looking amazing. They're hitting the ball in this one to Sandy Alcantara, who's off to a great start, 2-0 on the season, but a 4.70 ERA calls that into a little bit of question. His starts have been against Washington, the Mets, and the Pirates, and we do see the Marlins have won each one of those starts. He's given up at least 2 earned runs and actually gave up 4 earned runs his last time out, so let's not freak out too much about this guy. Alcantara, not necessarily one of my favorite pitchers out there. The Marlins bullpen, also not one to write home about unless you want to write a pretty scary letter. Guys, they're sporting a 4.50 bullpen ERA. Not really ideal. The offense has been, they're getting some guys across the plate. They scored 4, 2, and 4 runs in that series against Arizona. We see, Edwards off to a decent start. Matt Mervis off to a pretty good start there with his 6 home runs, but they're still 20th in the majors in runs scored. Now, their batting average and on-base percentage numbers are top 10, so maybe that's a number we see get a little bit better here at some point, but is it going to happen here against the Phillies and Zach Wheeler? I mean, the Phillies, 11-8 to start the year. They just split a 4-game series there against San Francisco. Handing the ball in this one to Zach Wheeler, hoping he can figure stuff out. It's been pretty rough here. He's 1-1, a 4.07 ERA. A couple good starts to open the year against Colorado and Washington, but then getting shelled by Atlanta and then kind of getting shelled there by the Cardinals is not a good look. So veteran pitcher in a huge bounce back spot. I'm starting to worry if he's fully healthy, but we'll see. Not time to overreact yet. That Phillies bullpen is a huge problem, though. A 4.83 bullpen ERA is a huge yikes if you're asking me. So not loving that. The offense for the Phillies is coming alive. 6-4, 6, and 4 runs over their last few games. Castellanos hitting the ball well. Schwarber hitting the ball well. They are 15th in slugging percentage, but 11th in batting average and 8th in on-base percentage. 17th in runs scored is not where this team is going to finish the year. So I'm liking the direction that we're seeing the Phillies offense heading. Now, looking at the numbers, there's some, I got some question marks here, guys. The Marlins are plus 180. The Phillies are minus 210. Like, Wheeler has not looked that great recently. So in terms of a side, I'm going to be, I don't know. We'll keep that under wraps right now. But we've got a total of 7.5. Miami's 2-3 on the road, 11-7 to the over. The Phillies 7-3 at home, 11-8 to the under. I'm honestly, if you're begging me for a side in this game, I'm leaning towards the Marlins at plus 180. Wheeler's been bad. That Phillies bullpen is atrocious. So that's a big concern here. Alcantara, maybe he's due to get not run support in this game. I don't know. We'll see. But my main lean in this one is to take over 7.5. We're not loving what we're seeing from Wheeler right now. The Phillies offense is headed in the right direction. The Marlins is too. Like, if we can get something around, like the 4 runs we've been getting out of the Marlins recently, like that gets us more than halfway there. So I definitely think the over is the better play on this game. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds headed to Baltimore to take on the Orioles. We see the Reds guys 9-10 to start the year. They just lost 2 out of 3 against Seattle. Now they got to head to Baltimore, so that's not exactly a walk in the park. They're giving the ball to Andrew Abbott, who's off to a great start to his season. He's 1-0, a 1.80 ERA. Now this is only his second start of the year, so let's not overreact too much. But Bro did go out and dominate the Pirates, so good stuff. 5 innings, 2 hits, only a single earned run allowed. He struck out 5 and walked 2 in what was eventually a 5-2 win there for the Reds. Now he's going up against the Orioles. That's a little bit of a different situation, but whenever he comes out of the game, there's no reason to be too concerned. If you're a Reds fan, a 3.07 bullpen ERA is super duper playable. That's, I think, top 6 in the majors at the moment. That all looks good, but the offense, they are coming off of a 7-run game against Seattle, but 7-3, 8, 4 and 5 runs over the last few. It looks good, but this offense over the course of the year has been pretty middle of the road. Now, they're still 27th in the majors in batting average and 26th in slugging percentage, but those run scored numbers are heading up. We've got Gavin Lux, hitting the ball relatively well. Matt McClain, 3 home runs. Nothing really to write home about there. Ellie De La Cruz doing some good stuff, but he's only batting .243, so I don't know, guys. We'll see what they do here against the Orioles, who are 8-10 on the year. They come into this game fresh off winning 2 out of 3 there against Cleveland. They're handing the ball to young Cade Povich, who's 0-1 to start his year, a 3.60 ERA. He had a very good start there, or a very serviceable start there against Toronto his last time out. It was a game Baltimore eventually lost in extra innings, but he went 4 2/3 and gave up only 2 earned runs. Now, he did give up 7 hits in that game, and that was after giving up 12 hits against the Royals. So the guy's not exactly on fire at the moment. We'll see what he can do. We'll see what that Baltimore bullpen can do. If they continue to be this good, that's a big step in the right direction. A 3.19 bullpen ERA is excellent. The offense just hasn't been there. Now, the last couple games it has, scoring 6 and 9 runs respectively over their last 2, but This season has been a little bit of a slog for this offense that's used to, like last year, they were one of the craziest offenses in the majors with insane slugging percentage and run scored numbers. But this year, they've been more middle of the pack now. Do they have the guys to, get back to that level? I would say sure, but we're going to have to see it here. And the odds makers expect to see it. The Reds are plus 130. The Orioles are minus 157. We've got a total of 9 out there. Cincinnati's only 3-4 on the road, 10-8-1 to the under. Baltimore's 4-4 at home, 10-5-3 to the over. I'm going to take the Reds here at plus 130. I think they've got the better starter on the mound. Now, obviously, the better offense goes there to the Orioles. I just don't know if it's going to come into play in this one, honestly, with the way the Reds are pitching. Now, that total of 9 is also intriguing. I would definitely lean under that 9 number. I mean, I just don't think Povich or Andrew Abbott's going to get shelled. This could be a no-run first inning spot. This could be an under in the first 5 spot. I just think we're going to see offense at a premium, and that makes me, A, like the underdog in this game, and B, definitely just like that under. Next up, we're looking at the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. The Yankees, come into this game fresh off a 4th straight win. They swept the Royals and then got off to a good start here in Game 1. Chilson, not too happy there with the refs, or the umps, but yeah, we'll see what goes on with that. I'm not too worried about that necessarily, but yeah, the Yankees doing their thing out there. They're hitting the ball in this one to Carlos Rodon, who hasn't gotten off to the best start. He's 1-3, a 5.48 ERA. First start of the year was great. Since then, it has gone downhill aggressively. He gave up 4 earned runs, including 2 home runs against the Giants his last time out, and a 5-4 loss there for the Yankees. So we'll see if he's got something of a bounce back in him in this one. Could be interesting. We'll see what he does in terms of the bullpen. The Yankees have been great, though. A 3.13 bullpen ERA, fully good enough to get the job done. And the offense has been doing just enough to get the job done. 6, 4, 4, and 4 runs over the last few games. Aaron Judge mashing up there. They're second in the majors in runs scored and first in slugging percentage. So no real reason to question this Yankees offense. Now, their opponent in this game, the Rays, have now lost 3 in a row. They're down to 8-11 on the year. They're hoping Drew Rasmussen can turn things around for them. He's 1-0, a 0.60 ERA. He's been pretty lights out. Shut out the Pirates over 5 innings, gave up 1 run to the Rangers over 5 innings, and then gave up no runs on 4 hits while striking out 7 against Atlanta his last time out. So loving what we're seeing here from Rasmussen. Can he keep it up in this game? I don't think it's impossible, but is he going to shut out the Yankees? It seems unlikely. Tampa Bay's bullpen's been good. A 3.47 bullpen ERA is okay, but they haven't been great, guys, and they've given up some leads. It's been a little bit brutal. Jonathan Arenado off to a good start at the plate at least. Braden Lowe doing his thing. 10th in runs scored, 3rd in batting average, 10th in slugging percentage, but this offense just doesn't feel like they've got it right now. 3, 0, and 4 runs over the last few games. Those numbers are a little skewed by putting up a 16 spot against Boston in Game 1 of that series. So we'll see what the Rays can do in this one. The odds makers have this as basically a coin flip. The Yankees minus 105, the Rays minus 110. We got a total of 8.5. The Yankees are 4-3 on the road, 10-7-2 to the over. Tampa Bay, 500 team at home, basically a 500 over-under team as well. I'm going to be leaning here just a little bit towards the under. I also like the Tampa Bay Rays, though, minus 110. Rodon's just not been good. Just straight up not good here down the stretch. So we'll see what he does here against the Rays. I don't trust either team enough to put this in the pinned comment, but definitely really don't trust the Yankees in this spot. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Seattle Mariners going on the road to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Mariners just won 2 out of 3 there at Cincinnati, so it's got to feel good. An 11-7 win in the final game of that series. They are officially, apparently this time, handing the ball to Brian Wu, who's 2-0, a 2.84 ERA. He just was lights out against the Rangers in his last start, giving up only a single earned run over 7 innings while also striking out 7. So very good stuff there. They'll be hoping he can continue that and hoping that their bullpen can maybe step it up a little bit. They've been slacking a bit lately, a 3.71 bullpen ERA. Not where I think the Seattle Mariners bullpen is going to finish over the course of this season. Now, the offense has been turning it on. 11, 6, 4, 3, and 9 runs over their last few games. They're up to 21st in the majors in runs scored, still 23rd in batting average, but they are making progress. There's no doubt about that. So big steps in the right direction for the Mariners. They're taking on the Toronto Blue Jays, who just won 2 out of 3 against Atlanta. They're handing the ball in this one to Bowden Francis, who's 1-2 on the year, a 3.71 ERA. He's coming off of a decent-ish start there against Baltimore. 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 5 runs, though. 3 of them were earned, and he gave a couple home runs. So, yeah, definitely not his best stuff. It'll be interesting to see what he can do in this one. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Not completely sold right now on Bowden Francis. The bullpen there for Toronto has been much better than expected. A 3.48 bullpen ERA is definitely something I think they'd be more than happy to settle for. The offense has been okay. 3, 6, 4, and 7 runs over the last few games. They're up to 15th in the majors in runs scored, but all their other numbers look much better than that. So maybe it's time for them to, get pointed in the right direction a little bit more, because they're 5th in batting average and 6th in on-base percentage. So this team has a little bit more to give there at the plate. Now, will they be doing that against Brian Wu? Seems like a big ask, guys. The Mariners are minus 115. The Blue Jays are minus 105. We've got a total of 7.5. Seattle 2-4 on the road, 9-8-2 to the under. Toronto 7-3 at home, 11-7-1 to the under. I'm going to be leaning towards the Mariners here at minus 115 a little bit. I trust Wu more than I trust Francis in this spot. The bullpens are kind of a wash, and the Mariners have been hitting the ball well. So give me the Mariners as a small lean, but probably not a big enough lean to put in the pinned comment. Rolling through these games, guys, we're looking at the Chicago White Sox, headed to Boston to take on the Red Sox. The White Sox 4-14 on the year. They just got swept there by the Athletics. They're taking on a Boston team where they managed to win 2 out of 3 just the series before this. So they're going to be trying to run it back. They're handing the ball to Martin Perez, who's 1-0 this year, a 1.59 ERA. Against Boston, he was pretty good, not necessarily unhittable or anything. 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. He walked 4 and struck out 5 in a game. We did see the White Sox eventually win 3-2. So he'll be looking to replicate that. Now, what are we going to get out of this White Sox bullpen here? Well, they've been fading pretty aggressively. A 4.48 bullpen ERA, not ideal. And the offense disappeared again, guys. 0, 1, and 3 runs in their series against the Athletics. This is a bad offensive team. They're last in batting average, last in slugging percentage, last on base percentage, and second to last in runs scored. So a lot of negatives right now for the White Sox as they take on the Red Sox, who just won 2 out of 3 against Tampa Bay. They're going to be looking for some revenge after losing 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. They're handing the ball to Hunter Dobbins, who's 1-0 to start his year, a 3.60 ERA. He's only made 1 start, and that was against the Cardinals. And I'll be honest, bro got a little bit lucky out there. He gave up 8 hits and only 2 earned runs. He struck out 5 and walked 2 over 5 innings. So yeah, taking on the White Sox now, probably nice for him to get another easy opponent. So we'll see what he can do. See that Boston bullpen can pull itself together. A 3.96 bullpen ERA is going to have Fenway fans pretty upset if that continues throughout the season. Now, the offense has finally started to maybe awaken a little bit, although they only scored 1 run in their last game. So 1-0 in a win, cool, but yeah, you don't want to be putting up those 1 spots. So we'll see if they can take advantage of the White Sox pitching here a little bit. They have the bats to do it. It's just a question of, are they going to do it? They're 9th in the majors in runs scored, 10th in batting average, but those numbers haven't been looking amazing recently. I mean, Alex Bregman off to a great start, but it hasn't really translated to a ton of runs. And looking at the numbers for this game, the odds makers are expecting plenty of runs. The White Sox are plus 180. The Red Sox are minus 220. We've got totals out there of 9 or 9.5. The White Sox are 0-6 on the road, 9-7-2 to the under. Boston's 4-3 at home, 11-7-2 to the under as well. You could maybe talk me into under 9.5 in this game, to be honest. I don't think we're going to see a lot of offense from the White Sox. I don't think we're going to see, the Red Sox just wreck Martin Perez out there. And neither bullpen really fills me with tons of optimism, but under 9.5 is definitely in play. In terms of a side, I'll certainly take the Red Sox. You can even take the Red Sox minus 1.5, and I don't think that's crazy in this game. But I just don't think we're going to see a ton of offense, so the under makes a lot of sense to me. Next up, guys, are the St. Louis Cardinals going on the road to take on the New York Mets. The Cardinals lost game 1 of this series 4-1, so that's not great. They're handing the ball to Miles Mikolas, who's 0-2 to start his year, a 9 ERA. Also, not great. His last start was against the Phillies. Probably close to his best start of the year. 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs. He walked 2 and struck out 6. So, yeah, they'll take that, I suppose, against a team like the Phillies, but not really putting your team in a position to win. The Cardinals bullpen, not great either, falling off a bit here, a 4.18 bullpen ERA. The offense obviously has done some good things this year, but coming off a game, they only scored 1 run, and they've scored 1, 4, 0, 8, and 7 runs over their last few. Brendan Donovan off to a great start. Herrera off to a great start. They're 5th in the majors in runs scored and 1st in both batting average and on base percentage. Are those numbers going to hold up? It just seems highly unlikely to me. So we'll see what happens. They're going up against the New York Mets, who are 12-7 on the year. Obviously, winning game 1 of this series is nice after losing their last 2 against the Twins. They're handing the ball to David Peterson, who's 1-1 this year, a 2.70 ERA. He has been excellent to start the year. His run support has been a little hit or miss, but he himself, excellent production. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any of his 3 starts. Now, he hasn't faced the toughest teams, but facing the Cardinals here, we'll see. Are they one of the toughest teams? It'll be interesting to find out in this game. The Mets bullpen, excellent. One of the best ones in the majors, guys. A 2.09 bullpen ERA. Nothing to complain about there. Pete Alonso doing his thing, guys, batting 343 on the year with 5 home runs and 21 RBIs. We saw Lindor hit a 2-run RBI single there for the Mets yesterday. That's nice. Yeah, just a lot of positives right now. They're up to 19th in the majors in runs scored. They're still 22nd in batting average, but all these numbers are pointed in the right direction. And I'm not shocked to see the Mets as big favorites. The Cardinals are plus 146. The Mets are minus 165. Got a total of 8. The Cardinals are only 1-6 on the road, 10-8-1 to the over. The Mets 6-1 at home, 14-5 to the under. That's an MLB best mark to the under. I'm not going to be taking under 8 in this game, though. I will definitely slam it here on the New York Mets at minus 165. I think with Michaelis on the mound for the Cardinals, the Mets should be closer to minus 200, if anything. I think they are by far the better team. I think they get a comfortable win in this game, especially playing at home. Next up, we're looking at the Minnesota Twins going on the road to take on the Atlanta Braves. The Twins got a much-needed series win there against the Mets, winning 2-1. They're still only 7-12 on the year, so a lot of work to do to dig themselves out of that early hole. They're hitting the ball in this one to Chris Paddock. He's 0-2 this year, a 9.49 ERA. He has been part of the problem, but his last start definitely gives them reason for optimism, guys. A great start there against the Tigers. 5 innings, 2 hits, only a single earned run allowed, and struck out 5. So good stuff there. Now, unfortunately, he got 0 runs of support, so the Twins eventually lose 4-0, but not a whole lot he can do about that. The bullpen for the Twins, no problems there. A 3.36 bullpen ERA is not bad. The offense has been sluggish. Tied for 22nd in the majors in runs scored, 25th in batting average. They've scored 4, 6, 1, and 5 runs over the last few games, though, so seems like they're starting to put things together. How will they fare against the Atlanta Braves, who've gotten off to an even worse start to the year? We're going to have to wait and see. Atlanta just lost 2 out of 3 there at Toronto. That probably feels pretty bad. They're handing the ball in this one to Bryce Elder, who's 0-1 to start the year. This young 25-year-old not having a great time. Gave up 3 earned runs and 2 home runs against the Dodgers, and then followed that up with giving up 9 hits, 5 earned runs, and 2 home runs in 6 innings against Tampa Bay. Now he's got to face the Twins. We'll see what he can do. I am pretty disenchanted with the way this young man is throwing the ball at the moment. The Braves bullpen isn't great either. A 4.18 bullpen ERA doesn't fill me with optimism. The offense has scored 1, 3, 8, 3, and 5 runs over the last few games. Ozuna coming alive a little bit. Austin Riley doing his thing at the plate, but they're still only 26th in the majors in runs scored and 20th in batting average. So looking at the numbers for this game, I'm a little bit surprised to see the Twins as significant underdogs. The Braves are minus 135. The Twins are plus 115. We got a total of 8.5 out there. Minnesota is only 3-7 on the road. Atlanta's 3-2 at home. No major trends towards the total here. Now, I don't care about the total, but I think I'm definitely going to back Chris Paddock and these Minnesota Twins. His last start makes me feel a lot better about Paddock. Bryce Elder not killing it here in the early goings and fading a young pitcher in the early part of the season doesn't seem too crazy to me at all. Definitely give me the Twins here, getting that plus money. Next up, we're looking at one of the marquee matchups of the night. We've got the LA Dodgers taking on the Texas Rangers. The Dodgers just swept the Colorado Rockies. Now, some of those games were pretty competitive. Ohtani hitting a 448-foot home run in the 7th inning. A 7-run first inning there was pretty nuts. But yeah, liking what we're seeing from the Dodgers, obviously at 14-6. They're hitting the ball in this one. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he comes into this game 2-1 on the year, a 1.23 ERA. That looks pretty okay, guys. He's been dealing. Just had his second start of the year against the Cubs and dominated them. 6 innings, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, and no runs allowed. He hasn't allowed a earned run over his last, 12 innings, and he hasn't allowed more than 2 runs in any game that he's pitched in this year. Like, bro is absolutely dealing. There is no way around it. So loving that. Liking what we're seeing from the Dodgers bullpen a lot less these days. A 3.70 bullpen ERA is down from what they were doing. Maybe they weren't taking the Rockies super seriously. Hard to tell. Now, this offense has been a little bit all over the place, but still, 6th in the majors in runs scored, 3rd in slugging percentage. You got Ohtani out there. You got Teoscar Hernandez. Like, you're gonna be pretty okay, among others, among a very, very, very loaded hitting lineup. So, yeah, liking what we're seeing from the Dodgers. Now, they are taking on the Texas Rangers, who are 12-7 on the year. They just swept the Angels, so that was some much-needed wins there. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Jacob deGrom, who has yet to figure out a result this season. He's sitting with a 4.30 ERA. His last start was against Seattle, and it was not great. 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, gave up 2 home runs. He's actually given up 2 home runs in each of his last 2 starts. Not really the return to dominant form that the Rangers and their fans were hoping for. So that's a bit problematic. The Rangers bullpen also headed in the wrong direction recently, a 3.82 bullpen ERA. So we'll see if the pitching staff can bounce back a little bit. The offense looked okay 5, 3, and 4 runs in that series, but not up to an amazing start. 27th in the majors in runs scored, 29th in on-base percentage. Pretty hard to score if you don't get on base. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The Dodgers are minus 140. The Rangers are plus 122. We've got a total of 8 out there. The Dodgers are 2-4 on the road, 11-9 to the over. The Rangers are 9-1 at home. They're a very good home team, 12-7 to the under. Guys, I'm going to be taking the Dodgers here. I'm going to be real honest. Like, this is way too cheap of a price. Yamamoto's been lights out. DeGrom has left me a little bit underwhelmed here. I'm going to be taking the Dodgers at minus 140, and it's one of my favorite plays of the day. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Sacramento Athletics. They're going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Athletics come in this game, guys, 9-10 on the season. They just swept the White Sox, so well played, but it was the White Sox. They're hitting the ball to JT Ginn, who's 1-0 to start his year, a 1.69 ERA. Now, his one start was against the Mets. He went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, only a single earned run while striking out 6. So that's nice. We'll see if he can back it up with a good start against the Brewers. Could take a little bit of doing here, but, not the worst start ever for the Athletics, a team. No one would be upset at them for just folding up and giving up on this season, but a 4.41 bullpen ERA, not great out of the pen. Now, the pen has looked good in the last couple games, but, let's not overreact to what anybody does against the White Sox. The offense, 12th in the majors in runs scored, 4th in slugging percentage. They're looking better than I would have thought, guys. Tyler Soderson's off to a great start, 9 home runs, 18 RBIs. He's batting .315 on the season. So this team looking a little bit scary at the plate. Now, a lot of damage was just done against the White Sox, so let's try and not overreact too much here as they take on the Brewers, who did just win 2 out of 3 against Detroit. They're 10-9 on the season, hitting the ball in this one to Freddie Peralta, who comes into this game 1-1 on the season, a 2.31 ERA, and he's looked great. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any start this season, and he's faced a couple of tough teams out there. I mean, he faced Arizona's last time out, 5 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs on 4 hits while striking out 6 and walking 4. Now, the Brewers did lose that game 5-2, but not really his fault. The Brewers bullpen has been a big concern. A 5.35 bullpen ERA is pretty much disaster level at this point, and the offense, while they did score 5 and 1 run over their series against Detroit, has not been killing it. They're 7th in the majors in runs scored over the course of the year, but 14th in batting average, 17th in on-base percentage. This is a number, that run scored number being in 7th is a number I expect to see get a lot worse. Get a lot worse before it gets better, if it ever gets better. So we'll see what happens for the Brewers in this one. They're minus 160. The Athletics are plus 135. We've got a total of 8 out there. Sacramento, 7-3 on the road. A very good road team. They're a slight over team. Milwaukee, 7-3 at home. They're a slight under team. I don't think the Brewers deserve to be minus 160 in this game. Now, they might end up winning this one, but their bullpen is terrible. No lead is really safe there for the Milwaukee Brewers bullpen. So, I like the Athletics here at plus 135. I also like the over in this game. Now, could these go in the pinned comment? It seems a bit unlikely, to be honest with you guys, but yeah, I definitely think both of those do have some value out there. In our last game that we're going to look at tonight, guys, we are taking a peek at the San Diego Padres going on the road to take on the Houston Astros. The Padres come into this game fresh off of winning 2 out of 3 there against Chicago, so nothing wrong with that. They are off to a great start, 15-4 on the year, hitting the ball in this game to Kyle Hart, who's 2-0 to start the season, a 5.40 ERA though, due almost exclusively there to getting shelled by the Cubs. So his last start was very good against the Rockies, 6 innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, no walks, no runs allowed. Doesn't get a lot better than that. Now, it was against the Rockies, so let's not overreact too much, but got to give the guy credit where credit is due. The Padres bullpen's been insane. A 1.52 bullpen ERA is tops in the majors overall. The offense sputtering a little bit here in the last couple games. 4 and 1 run respectively, but over the course of the season, guys, they're 8th in runs scored, 2nd in batting average. Fernando Tatis off to a scintillating start, batting nearly .350 on the year, 6 home runs, 14 RBIs. Bro is killing it out there. So you love to see it if you're a Padres fan. Now they're taking on the Astros in this game, who are 8-10 to start the year. They just lost 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. They're hitting the ball to Ryan Gusto, who has yet to figure in a result this season. He just made his first start of the year after being in the bullpen in long relief for a bit and looking pretty good, but that start did not go well against the Angels. 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, and a home run allowed. So we'll see if he can back this up at all. I'm a bit concerned, and obviously since it's going to be a bullpen start for Houston, you want to look at their bullpen as a whole, and a nearly 3 ERA for the bullpen, not terrible. Now the offense, 1, 2, and 3 runs against the Cardinals. Jose Altuve hitting the ball well, kind of, but they're 26th in the majors in batting average, 22nd in runs scored, and 27th in slugging percentage. So not loving a lot for the Astros. Now the odds makers somehow have the Astros at minus 140 in this game. The Padres are plus 118. We've got a total out there of 9. Padres are 3-3 on the road, 10-8-1 to the under. Houston 4-5 at home, 9-7-2 to the under. I'm definitely taking the Padres getting plus money in this game. That's wild to me. I think they're by far the better team. I think Gusto and that Houston bullpen are in for a rude awakening. Kyle Hart threw the ball well his last time out, and the Padres bullpen's amazing. Definitely giving the Padres in this one. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. Get over to stumpthespread.com. The link is down there in the description, and get on that free email list. Check out all the stuff we offer over there. It is more than worth your time. Just a heads up, guys, the video for tomorrow is going to be an NBA video covering the NBA playoffs. I was able to pre-record that one because I'm actually going to be traveling, doing some family stuff over Easter. So happy Easter to everybody out there here a day early. We will also have an NBA video out there for you on Sunday, but then Monday, don't worry, we will be back, getting back on this MLB grind. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you tomorrow for more sports betting action.